Well, hello and welcome. We are the Shills, a group of YouTube creators and debunkers coming together for live roundtable chats, live debunks, guests, and man, do we have one today, and much more. Now, today we're going to be covering Eric Dubay, and let's face it, who gives a rat's ass what he's got to say? It's going to be bullshit. We're going to have a great time, and we got fuck it word. So, this is going to be a blast. And joining us tonight, we have Conspiracy Cats. So let me hand this over to the one man who you can trust to take down a flirf with his baby finger in the back dark alleys of hell. It's Jim Bojo.
Thank you very much indeed, Dick Dawson. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you are. I'm Jim Bojo. Welcome to the Silly Shill Show. We are the Shells. Hello, and a very warm welcome from the Shill's secret underground bunker. It's a pleasure to have you here with us, and thanks for coming. Thanks to Dick Dawson, as ever, for our spectacular startup. Now, unless your head's been in the sand for a week, no doubt you'll know by now. Aside from the miasma of plenty we'll be presenting as usual in terms of debate and debunk, we'll have a very special guest this week to bring to you all. But before we meet him, let's go around the table once again to meet the team and find out what's new. Dick Dawson. How's the world model feud coming? Anything new on the table to look forward to?
There is. We are planning a weekly Friday live stream for going forward. We're not 100% sure on the exact time yet. I'm still working out a few set details and a couple of guests to get ready and whatnot, but it's going to be great. It's going to be basically a dumpster fire. We're trying to get some flirfs and some anti-vaxxers and some other complete fools on the show, and we're going to let it rock. It's going to be great. Watch that space.
Awesome. Look forward to it massively. Anti-Flatter. Hello, this is the past calling. Come in. This is the future calling. Do you read me? Hello, Anti-Flatter. How are you out there in the future?
Kia ora, my bro. I'm doing all good. Bet yourself, my man.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. What you got out this week?
Well, I have my I'm Back episode released yesterday.
Yes, you are.
So, yeah, and carrying on as usual.
Brilliant stuff. All right, well, I look forward to seeing more. I'm glad to see you back on the producing thing. That video was fantastic. Now, Sarcastic Barman, apart from the weekly hangout sessions you've been hosting, you've been looking at Right the Hand recently, haven't you?
Oh, my God. My brain just died after that. The guy's a fucking moron. But yeah, it was fun as fuck. But yeah, I've got my Orphan Red shit coming out next week. That's going to be good, hopefully, if I can crack on with it. I keep going, yes, I'm going to do it. And I listen to her videos and my brain just melts on my ears. I'm like, oh, fuck's sake, I want to do this for a week.
Oh, well, I do pity you. I've had to work with that a little bit myself. It's a nightmare. Next on the table, Jack Monk, the Drunk Monkey. Oi, oi, how are you doing? You've had a very strange post this week. I think you left your webcam on or something. What's going on?
Oh, yeah, man. Well, what it was is I had some bananas and they'd gone off a bit. And it started fermenting, and with my usual 3,000 to 5,000 units of alcohol a day,
sure.
You know, I had a nightmare.
Bad reaction. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Have you got anything else new this week you want to tell people about?
Well, obviously my comments video just got ridiculously long, so as you know, I put one part out. I've cut it down into parts. So it's going to be a 4 to 5 parter, all dedicated to our lovely little friend Alex the Moron Morales.
Marvelous.
So he's having a whole series all about him, but then he has made such a fucking effort with all those comments. I
He certainly has.
For him.
Nice. Well, very generous of you. Okay, next up we got Dead Kennedy in Space. You've just transwarped in from another galaxy. What have you been up to on Sigma Octantis this week?
I've been up to a lot. I'm still prepping for a couple live streams that should be coming pretty soon. Keep an eye out for that, especially the first one, because it's gonna be a doozy. If anybody's been following my Twitter, they'll know what that's about.
Brilliant stuff. All right, thank you very much indeed. Now, Logical Troglodyte, you've been subjecting older Antagony sewer rats to some peer review this week, haven't you?
Yes, it was a mild peer review. I decided to just give him a gentle love tap with the Club of Reason. I figured let's not go too harsh on him, give him a chance to correct his mistakes, and if he pulls another bonehead maneuver again, we can give him a full and proper whack.
Beautiful stuff. I agree entirely, yes. Right now, AB Science, our boffin of truth. What have you been up to amongst the lasers these last few days?
Well, I've been working with a bit of a nugget from Sleeping Warrior. You are all aware that he comes out with this relative density disequilibrium bullshit. And I just thought I'd do a little bit of, can only call it intellectual masturbation and try to derive Newtonian mechanics from that, with that as the starting point, and create an internally consistent model that way, and that will be made public tomorrow, I think.
Ooh, looking forward to that a lot, sir. Right, well, also on the panel this week, again for the festivities, is Steaming Cup of Reason. What have you got for the good boys and girls at home? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you all?
Yeah, great, thanks. Now, have you got any material you want to tell people about at the moment, or?
Well, no, I just released my weekly video last night, and I just did a Friday special with Casual Spaceman, and I've got the next one coming up this week, and I'm working on a few things with a couple of creators, but I can't really divulge what that's about yet. Just as Dick would say, watch this space.
Wow, yeah, brilliant stuff. So everyone should keep an eye out for that. Now, we've also got Kiri Mack with us, who'll be taking your comments and questions from the chat and passing them on to us. So don't forget, if you've got any, pass them straight at her. Kiri Mack, you got anything new with you lately? Oh, I don't know if she's back just yet. She did have a bit of a problem with her microphone. We'll come back to her in one more second and see if she's there. Finally on the list, we got Osman Cometh now beavering away furiously in the intervening time, trying to get all the little cogs and wheels working here. And after, frankly, what is a marathon test yesterday, it was Herculean. Osman Cometh has wrestled it into submission and will be making sure the little ones and zeros are behaving. You may well hear him from time to time when he's not holding the pixels back with the chair. Thanks, Ozzy. Welcome back. You doing all right, mate?
Oh, goodness, that's a lot of work. Yeah, everything's working all good.
Yeah, take a breath.
I've got all the pixels, all the cogwheels, every single freaking thing is working tonight. There should be no issues.
Beautiful. Lovely.
Why
well, let's see if that'll last the full show, shall we? Brilliant stuff. Okay, right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time you've all been waiting for. It's the man who invented the space comer. It's the man who made Riley prove the world is round with mass. Conspiracy CATZ is here. Hello, mate. You didn't bring that daft baldy brother of yours, did with you? I don't really like that guy.
No, nobody does. I had one job at the beginning, and that was to keep quiet. And I interrupted your intro because I ruined it already. Can we start again? I've absolutely messed it up. I apologise for that, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Back to the start, lads. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, just sit down. We're going to restart, okay? Right, no, okay. Look, thank you so much for coming on. Obviously, everyone on the panel is a big fan of you. I'm sure all the people watching know who you are at home. But just in case there's someone out there who's been blind and deaf for the last 5 years, in a nutshell, how would you describe who you are and what you do for people listening?
Okay, so in a nutshell, I look at flat Earth videos and sometimes other conspiracy videos, and I try and take a little bit of a sideways look at them and throw in a little bit of science every now and then.
Oh, okay. Now, how long ago did you actually start making content? And frankly, what was it that made you want to do it in the first place?
Oh, well, this is the story. You mentioned Anthony Riley a minute ago.
Yeah,
because I am a teacher, a secondary school science teacher. It was the 14th of July last year. One of the kids I taught brought me a video. Have you seen the video Dell did where he pours water on a football?
Yes. Yeah, certainly have.
Legendary, that one, isn't it?
It is.
And the kid brought it to me in fits of laughter, and the kids thought it was great. And she said, why do people think the Earth is flat? And I thought, this was a kid that, didn't enjoy science. It was a kid that was so totally bored by anything I said. To see her engaged, I thought, well, if she's interested in this, why don't I contact maybe a flat earther on the internet, have a little bit of back and forth, and use it as a teaching tool, show the kids and get them engaged, and they all watched it, and after about 10 seconds, they went, this guy's an idiot, and then they went back to being bored again. But it got me hooked.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's addictive, this sort of thing, isn't it? We've all found ourselves lured into this bizarre world of crazy people with footballs and hose pipes. Now, look, is there anything coming up in the near future or stuff that you've had out recently that you really want a chance to plug away here? I can't promise we'll do you much more advertising than you'll get at home, but just in case you wanted to sort of let people know, maybe you've got a charity project or a new video, or there's a new creator you want to shout about.
Actually, yeah, Mrs. CATZ is going to be. Mrs. CATZ. She's not to do with flat Earth or anything like that, but she's maths teacher, and she's going to be putting forward a course. You know what? This sounds really boring, actually, but she's going to be doing like a GCSE maths course, free, starting at the beginning of the specification and ending at the end. So anyone who's got kids with maths, it's pretty boring actually for a Saturday night. But yeah,
no, not at all. I should say actually, because I was awful at maths at school, didn't concentrate, didn't like it, and I've been trying to go back and teach myself by using freely provided GCSE courses by people exactly like that. So I think that's a brilliant resource. And people out there listening, I know there are sort of budding scientists who, like me, who didn't really get the maths before, who want to go out and find out this stuff. So a resource like that's really useful to them. I think what I'd like to do, obviously.
I'll let you in on the secrets because I didn't do science. I didn't do physics or maths at A level. I didn't do particularly well at school, but it was actually YouTube videos that kind of brought up that skill set that I needed to become a competent mathematician, and it's an absolutely essential part in my education that allowed me to get to the position where I am now.
There you go. See, now if that isn't credit indeed, I don't know what is, because AB Science is a bit of a resident genius for us. So yeah, thank you for that. Right, well, thank you very much, Conspiracy Cats. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate you coming. Like I say, I won't gush forever. Thanks for giving us a little insight as well in some of the stuff you do. What we really want to know is, would you like to join in a couple of debunks with us?
You know what? I think it'd be rude not to. Looking forward to it.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you. Right, now, as we move forward throughout the show, if anyone watching's got anything that they'd like directed towards Conspiracy Cats, then just at Kiri Mac, we'll get that to him. Kiri, just checking, is there anything popping up yet?
We got a couple things.
Okay.
Sorry about the technical difficulties that I have never had before tonight, and I'll tell you something, it wasn't even my computer. I heard an echo, I shut everything down, and it was coming from my frickin' phone, so... Sorry, guys.
Never mind.
So we have a very quick question for Conspiracy Cats from Tatty Bogle. He wants to know if you will bow to that guy's demands to delete your channel.
Oh God, yeah. No, but I have offered that guy to come onto my channel and just present his argument unimpeded by me. To voice his concerns, if you like. But I think he must have me blocked by now because he's not responding.
Love it.
Shame. Anything else?
We have Glober Mom says that she had a comment on her first video. Actually, guys, if you haven't checked her out, go and do so after this, where the flurf used period comma, but period comma just doesn't sound good. So, yuck. She also thinks pictures are all replicants. I don't know if she's
really?
But,
Why not? Why not?
The usual useful stuff from the chat, so I'll zip it for now.
No, that's lovely though. Thank you very much indeed. That's awesome stuff. Right, I think it's probably just about time that we started getting on with the first debunk, because it's loaded with some frankly delicious nonsense. Dick, why don't you tell us about it?
Well, we've got Mr. Are we doing Dubay first? Sorry.
Yes, we are.
Okay, I might as well get this right.
Yeah,
We've
absolutely.
got Mr. Dubay, and this is not what you're expecting. So make sure you've got your alcohol ready, you're in your comfy chair, and make sure that there's nothing that's going to get in the way when you spit your drink out or whatnot, laughing your head off, because this is going to be crazy. Ozman, let's kick it, buddy.
Minus 10, 9, 8. We have a go for main engine start. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
The sky is deep black.
And we cannot see stars.
There's more than stars. You can see planets. You can see moons.
You see the gas.
The sunlight washes out all the starlight, so you can't see any stars.
Pretty much all the time you can see the stars.
Oh, stop. Really?
Right. Super.
Go ahead, Cats.
No, sorry, I spoke it off to you.
Like we're starting with no stars again. Like
every damn time.
I've done those 2 clips myself. Friggin' Don Petit and Mike Massimino on the ISS, and then the Apollo 11 conference. Like, yeah, because one's talking about being on the surface of the moon. One of them is talking about being orbiting Earth in a space station.
It's crazy, isn't it? Well, it's as simple as this. It's either you're in the shadow of a big lump of rock or you're not. Because if you're in the shadow, you get to see the stars. If you're not, you kind of don't. It's really that straightforward. Human eyes and cameras both have the same trouble unless you set them up. So I fail to understand where the problem is, right?
It's so simple.
Every time. Right. Shall we hit play?
Well, CATZ had something, didn't he?
Oh, sorry, you're absolutely right. What am I saying? Conspiracy CATZ, what did you want to add?
No, I was only going to say the same thing you did, but also it's really refreshing to have an Eric Dubay video where we don't have his monotonic vocal attack from the very beginning.
That's true.
Well, it's funny you say that, Conspiracy CATZ, because I went through his whole 200 proofs and done 40 videos, and I was having nightmares. Fucking drove me insane. So when I actually saw Dubay's name, I started crying.
I can imagine. Yeah, the tears of fucking joy rolling down your face. Right, let's continue, shall we?
Stars. It's the darkest black you can imagine.
Never a straight answer. So many things have changed, but I never thought I'd live in an age to see the day. Outer space is seen as fake. We have all been played, fallen prey to a Freemasonic cage. Surely all is gonna break away the more.
Conspiracy CATZ, was that you?
I think that was me. I think.
Go ahead.
This argument, I mean, like, but this again is another like old argument that has been answered so many times. You know, people saying we can't go back to the moon anymore. We can't go back to the moon. Well, I saw a NASA engineer give a brilliant explanation in an interview with Brian Cox on a YouTube video. I'll see if I can find the link later on. And she was saying, well, you know, it's not that the technology doesn't exist or we can't do it, but, you know, that technology is just out of date now. If we were going to build a car to race in a Formula One race, we wouldn't use a car from 50 years ago. We'd start fresh. We'd make something more efficient. We'd make something much safer. You know, so it's not that technology doesn't exist. We don't know how to do it. We just need to start from scratch and do it better.
Damn right. Now, DK, you had something you wanted to add, right? Dead Kennedy, you there?
200 proofs the Earth is not a spinning ball.
Put him on permanent mute. What the hell?
That's way too easy.
That's a stunning Phuket word as well.
Hello, flat Earth debaters. Oh wait, no, I screwed that up. Hello, flat Earth debunker. Oh, I can't remember the order it's in now.
Hello, flat Earth debunkers and debaters.
Researchers, debunkers, and debaters. That's right.
Why are we doing this? Please stop.
Oh, it's great fun. Right, let's continue, shall we?
Oh, I have one thing.
Oh yeah.
No.
I forgot to unmute last time.
Okay.
Why is the sky black? If we're in a big dome and they say it's blue because the glass is fucking blue, shouldn't the higher we go up just be more fucking blue?
That's a good fucking point, Barman.
I've not actually thought about it. I spend so long saying firmament's not there, I never think of the actual physics of how it would work, because...
Yeah, if the firmament's there, we should fucking see it.
Oh, right.
It shouldn't be black. It should be fucking blue.
Well, there are waters above. Look, we're going to get lost in a theological debate. Let's continue.
We would.
The next silly claim is, because there's a lot of them. Yeah.
Houston, we now have a problem. They found out space isn't at all what we told us. NASA all assorted all the stories for the astronauts before they all reported what they saw in Aztec orbit. NASA saw the planet Aldrin, so no more than black. You all are talking bullshit quarters where you ought to all be walking as your master plan is ported. You're all caught red-handed. I imagine your imaginary bands of Van Allen. Of course, they all know has it. Moon landing was staged. A Stanley Kubrick play. The USA had to make a movie to win the race to space. NASA, what's the truthful answer you want doing lunar trips? Why? It isn't lucrative. The tax you take.
Ted Kennedy's face.
I was fucking muted when I saw the thing that annoyed me. curtain rods, you piece of shit.
I know that curtain rod cost $2 million US. You assholes! What the fuck?
Like this is such an old.
And
thing.
it is foil. It's gold foil, a few microns thick, right?
It's gold foil, and then what they're neglecting is the fact that there's like 18 other layers before you get inside the capsule.
Also, that gold foil is fucking expensive.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. They love to just disparage. The last 3 images are all disparagement. Let's see, Steaming Cup of Reason, what do you have to say so far?
Well, it's not so much about the lunar landing. It was that little bit before where he popped on the screen that statement that Gus Grissom was killed 2 weeks later. He made it look like an accusation that NASA killed this guy. That pissed me off.
Yeah,
that was a horrible, tragic accident that those 3 men died. And for him to take the piss on that, that just pisses me off.
Yeah, man. That's absolutely cruel. How about you, Andy Flatter? What do you think so far?
Oh, no, I'm with Steaming Cup of Reason there. That one really fucked me off.
Yeah, right.
And go back to what he's talking about, how with the radio playing up, that problem was solved before they took off on the next Apollo missions. So that whole picture was moved to begin with.
Absolutely. Now, Kiri Mack, there's a comment coming, apparently.
Yeah, Casual Spaceman says, no, they did not go to space in the lunar lander. Don't know who said it, but thought I'd just fling it in there. Somebody fucked up.
Indeed. Well, how do we expect them to understand actual rockets, though, for God's sake?
All 13 when they chilled out in the lander for a while.
Yeah. Lovely. Right. Has anyone else got any final points they want to throw in before I say let's continue?
Yeah, musically, it's fucking shit.
Awful.
Yeah, we know it's the rap, have we? Conspiracy Cat, you're a musical chap. We've seen some of your brilliant music that you've kicked out. What do you think of this Eric Dubay rap? Well, the rap that he's got, I mean.
You know what? It is awful, but like I said, it is better than listening to him drone on and on. Like Jump Up the Drunk Monkey. Like if you've listened to his entire 200 proofs in that voice, are you now like the Manchurian Candidate? Have you? Is he completely fucked your brain?
Oh, mate, yeah. It was honestly. When I started doing it, I thought, this will be fun. And then, because it was called 5 a day, like taking your vitamins and whatnot. And but once I started getting into it and people going, my few subs that I've had were going, I'm loving it, keep them coming. And I was thinking, I wish I hadn't fucking started this now.
Do you know what? I know the same thing as you, Jack Monk. I've just done the first 20, right? And I've written the script for the full 200. And having done one video, I'm like, man, I don't really want to do another one. Now I'm sort of fine with 20, but I've sort of wrote myself into it. Look, I think I'm going to ask guys you to continue, please.
One moment. We have a comment from Mr. Did Kennedy in space.
Oh, shoot,
that's right. I apologize. Did I miss that?
No, I was gonna say, because we've been talking about how terrible Dubay's voice is and how terrible this music is, and which is worse. I had an idea to do a several-part series called 200 Proofs the Earth is a Spinning Globe, and do it entirely in that voice. And after this stream, I don't think I should do it.
Yeah,
I won't watch it.
Do it. I want to see it.
There may be.
We've got a good one. We've got a good one from the Casual Spaceman. I mean, they didn't go to space in the lunar lander. They landed on the moon with the lunar lander. They went to space on the Saturn V rocket inside the command module. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
you fucktards.
We are literally explaining rocket science to people who don't get gravity. This is a dangerous road. Let's just hit continue. Carry on, right?
But excuse you lose the tapes and can't locate the data. Saying nowadays it's far too hard to make it all after you threw away the blueprint for the lunar craft. Now half a century has passed, you had a blast. You're talking at your ass. The elephants in the room, they never went to the moon. Prove everything taught to you about space, so big fan of you.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Yes, they did fucking go to the moon. They did fucking go to the moon. They did go to the moon, you fucking plums.
Yay, monkey.
Somebody in the audience is now going to take that soundbite, loop it, and put a banging track onto it. So I look forward to whoever it is.
I'm on it.
I might do that.
Yeah.
But listen, with Kerry Mack. Oh, sorry, Dick Dawson. Go ahead.
Listening to this kind of crap makes you sick to your stomach. I mean, anybody with an ounce of gray matter in their skull, and I mean, we obviously know that between Dubay and Phuket word, what we have is two empty cranial cavities that you could use to blow seashell sounds with, right? But still, come on, don't treat people like they're absolutely fucking stupid because you are. What the fuck?
But I think that's one of the tactics that Dubay uses, right? He just uses his fucking voice and then fucking awful music like this to put you in this really violently sick, nauseated state where you know you are weak, you are vulnerable, and therefore you are more susceptible to the bullshit that he spouts.
Yeah, do you know, it's like that new rap that's out now called drill, where it's like it's awful. You know, you don't want your kids listening to it, and you know, it puts messages in your head, and that's like what he's going for, isn't it? You know, only he's crap at it.
Yeah, it's this neuro-linguistic programming bullshit. Phuket word is a bastard for it as well. He goes, yeah, and sort of positively reinforces every bullshit sentence that comes out of his mouth. Nightmarish. Any little comment? I'll tell you what, Kerry Mack, there were a couple of comments coming through. Did you want to read anything out, or are we okay right now?
Sure. Isaac Dutton, who is a new subscriber who's come from CATZ channel, hello there, thank you, says that using the power of space comma drives it and was able to make it to the moon. He's talking about this.
That was awesome.
Nice.
Tony Designs.
Rock and roll.
Tony Designs says the Shills, the musical, next month, the Shills on Ice. I love it. We have to do that.
I'm not wearing latex. I'm not putting on tights. Not happening.
I would pay to see you all in spandex. Oh my god.
I used to in my rock and roll days, honey.
Even
pictures or it didn't happen. Exactly.
I'd break the camera if I was in spandex. It'd be a very scary thing.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe you'd be quite graceful. We don't know. Right, look, before this descends into madness once again, let's continue, shall we?
Hang on.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Dead Kennedy.
I had one quick thing, and I'm sorry that it isn't as funny one of one. It's more of a basic science thing. I want to ask the panel a question. Okay. What is a telemetry tape?
Can I answer? Does anyone else want to answer? Does anyone know the answer?
Sounds like some sort of worm.
It's a data storage device which stores
hang on,
telemetry
Stephen
data.
Couple Reasons and AB Science are both trying to answer now. I know AB knows the answer and he's raring to go, but I want to give it to Stephen Cup first, if that's all right.
To my understanding, it's a form of digital tape that contains all the flight data.
And then AB Science, what is the full English Britannia Encyclopedia answer?
Well, the clue's in the name. Telemetry, it's distance measurements. It's simple as that, and it just contains that.
Indeed. So people who are aware of
it's
things
a tape
like
because it's on a tape.
Well, but what I think is the issue there is they keep hearing, oh, they lost tapes, therefore they lost data, and Casual Spaceman will be with me here. They didn't lose data; they lost slow scan television footage that was recorded onto telemetry tape.
Exactly.
Yeah, quite.
That just drives me crazy that they keep saying that. They keep going, oh, they lost tapes. And I'm like, yeah, tapes that were broadcast to millions of televisions around the world. So who cares?
Yeah,
so it's like they're intentionally using nuance and exploiting it to give themselves an advantage.
Because it's not like they can't. It's not like they can't figure this out on their own. They all have Google because they're using Google services to put this rubbish on fucking YouTube, right? So they know how to use it. They're doing this on purpose. It's bullshit, and we know it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you know what? The better produced it is, the more sign of a poet is.
Yeah,
there's no reason to keep it anyway. If they needed that footage later on, they could always go to the news media and get copies of their backups.
Yeah,
indeed. Right. Well, look. Shall we hit continue on the tape because there's a little bit left.
Let's be up and return it. That's it from years of selling the heliocentric universe to not begun. And you never will. It's all a lie. It's all a lie.
Oh, you fucking god damn it!
Oh, I know how you're feeling, Kennedy.
Triggered.
We may have Debunk for this. Dead Kennedy, what's going on, mate?
That's a fucking lie. That's a lie. You fucking globe denying tossers. Yeah.
If we have good enough songs, will that make it true? Is that how it works?
Yes.
Mate, well, we've got great musicians here. We can make the world round just by singing it. Marvellous. Kiri, you played.
I've been doing it for quite a
You
while
played
on the
too.
Canadian Thomas channel.
Yes, he has.
What's happening? I heard my name.
Right, does anyone want to add anything more to the situation? We had a few jump in.
Kennedy wants to say.
Dead Kennedy.
All I want to say is that the Columbia hoax is quite possibly the most despicable hoax that exists. A, because it spits in the faces of the 7 people who died, and B, because it is debunkable in about 30 damn seconds. It's so simple. It's a brother and some people who look vaguely similar. That's it.
Exactly. Well said.
Okay. Well, I've got Kiri Mack and Ozzy. Sorry, Jumpmonk, you have one little go there. I'm going to bring Kiri Mack into the room, and then Osman cometh afterwards. Okay.
Say again, yeah, go for what you mean. Speak now. I was just going to say that's
now.
That truth is not a hoax is all about, and that'll be one of the videos that I'll be doing.
Absolutely, yeah. You can plug that one at the end. Actually, give people another chance to find out about that because I think that's a worthy project. Right, Kiri Mack, what did it? You've got a couple of comments you wanted to add, I think.
Sure. Jen Morgan says that talking about spandex is of the devil. We've got quite a few for CATZ. I might save some of those for later. But Al Loop says hi. And Michael Hemming wants to thank CATZ for the link to his show. He's just subscribed. How about that? We actually got CATZ a sub. Are we not?
Yay!
See, I knew we'd help this little channel about, get off the ground a bit.
Well, get people to recognise the name.
He's funny, and give the guy a chance. He's got a couple of videos up, I think, but yeah.
There's one or two out there. They're all right. Right. Okay. Before he leaves, let's continue.
Hang on a sec, guys. I did want to jump in here. I apologize.
It's fair enough.
I just wanted to make a few comments. I am tone deaf, and I had to listen to Spice Girls as a childhood. This idiot this thing is worse than that. In terms of music.
It is too. It's awful. It's horrible.
It is.
It makes me want to. It makes me want to go out into the forest and kick ground squirrels around just for fun. It's making me angry.
Don't they accuse us of being propagandists? Don't we put this up a lot? They say, "Oh, you're just globagandists. It's all propaganda." And what they do is they have no arguments. They go out and make emotional pleas and sing songs about how terrible we are. That sounds like fucking propaganda to me.
Yes. I mean, when I first looked at this video, obviously before the show, and I thought it was the intro music, and I was thinking, "God, fucking hell, that's a noise," and then it just went on and on and on.
Yeah, this whole thing pisses me off on so many levels. As a scientist and as a musician, it's just like the two things I care about: science and music, and it just fucks it all up in one fell swoop.
It hurts my ears. And also, Kiri, please don't make my beer belly get into a spandex, please.
I would love to see that, though. I'm sorry. You're all going to be wearing spandex by the end of the week, whether you like it or not. How about that?
Well, as someone has commented, spandex is a satanic thing.
Right.
It's happening again. It's happening again. Ladies and gentlemen, we're descending into madness. Let's hit play on the video and debunk some more silly.
There's never a straight answer. And you never will, it's all
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Space Odyssey, I found an oddity. It seems like sodomy is your main commodity. Astronauts assuming astronomy, NASA.
What the fuck?
Right, now hold on. I heard pause. Who was it? Was it Steaming Cup of Reason or Sarcastic Barman? I got a bit lost.
I just threw up in my mouth. Sorry.
Who was it? Sorry.
It was me. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Do jump in, mate. Do jump in.
No, it wasn't a debunk. It just reminded me of a whole holiday photograph. That's all. I just.
That's brilliant, mate. Anti-flatter. Sorry, what was that, mate?
Oh, I'm just wondering how Cat spends his holidays. If that picture reminded him of a holiday.
He's been enjoying himself, though, doesn't it, eh?
Do you know what?
Blimey. Yeah, what's that, Debunk?
My fucking ears are bleeding.
All right, well, look, we're nearly over. I think. Let's moving swiftly on then, shall we? Oh, yeah.
If that reminds Katz of his holiday snaps, his wife's channel's now to become a bit more interesting.
Guys, Tommy Gronwald says, I just need to give Katz my deepest sympathy, as civilized as he is in this dungeon of creatures. Thanks, Tommy.
Katz, what do you think about somebody who would actually put this video together? Like, there's got to be some unbelievable arrogance behind you to put this together, right? You know what I mean?
I reckon, I don't before, like, you see so many flat earthers putting videos out just to music with no explanation. And half me thinks it's arrogance, and half me thinks it's that they are so unsure about what they're talking about that music over something and don't have to talk about it, and maybe just put a couple of sound bites out there. Then,
right, like what's his name? Oh, Cheswick. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's a get out of jail free card for them, because if you don't say anything, you can't be called up on it.
That's right. That's a good point. I love it. I knew you'd have something. Excellent. That's great.
I think we've got Dead Kennedy's got something he wants to read out. It's a comment that Kerry Mack didn't even want to say. Dead Kennedy, what did you like to add to the conversation?
If diarrhea had a song, this is it.
Oh, poor old Kerry couldn't even bring herself to read it aloud.
That was fucking awesome.
We are truly plumbing new depths this week here, folks.
Plumbing.
Right, let's. I mean, it's all very well we keep calling out the song for how shit it is, but I want to call out some more bad arguments, and there's a few of those left. So let's continue.
Authority, Virgin Galactic, Master Prophylactic, practice space sex, safe sex, you bastards. Waxed up black holes, ready for you assholes. Blast your capsules back to the glass bowl. Time dilated, Uranus is waiting, pulsing like the pulsars pulsating. Blast your phallus and call it a rocket. Seamen dressed in white in the cockpit. That's some gay shit, Masons. You're right.
This is just shit now, isn't it? It's just got worse.
I have to give him credit for that Uranus joke because, yeah,
it was fun, wasn't it? They do sometimes have a sense of humor. Dead Kennedy.
So, if I'm correct, he's now doing, because rockets curve, they don't go into space, they fall down into the ocean again.
No. This is the thing. Are we going to really have to sit here and explain orbital mechanics? Because all I want to say is go and play fucking Kerbal Space Program and get over yourself. It's easy. Well, it's not easy, but you know what I mean.
Kerbal Space Program is not easy.
As amazing as Kerbal is. As amazing as Kerbal is, I won't explain orbital mechanics. I'll explain driving a car. When you make a right turn, do you go halfway into the intersection, turn 90 degrees on a dime, and then hit the gas again? No, you curve slowly into it, you fucking idiot.
Well, unless you want to have a lot of fun. But yeah, basically. Nobody drifts a rocket is my point, and your point, clearly. Yeah.
I actually think that was one of Dubay's proofs. And you know, I said exactly the same thing. If it wasn't a Dubay video, then it was another one. But I'm pretty sure one of his proofs was they never go up. And I was like, well, yeah, but you wouldn't just drive along and then just fucking take a sharp turn, would you?
Like, oh, we're out of the air now. Turn right.
Yeah,
yeah, innit? Like chugging up to space like they're a fucking
they're
moped.
going much faster.
Was that Barman I just heard?
Yeah. I was just going to say, when they go on about the budget as well, and they go, oh, NASA's taking all this money. Let's be fair, in the terms of money for the US fucking budget, it takes between fuck all and naff all.
Ooh, yeah, I have some math here.
Ridiculous. Oh, go on, math.
Yeah, $56 per year per person.
How
much?
$56 a person a year. It's it's about 18 pence a day or something in English. It's laughably small.
Yeah, what were they going to do with the $60?
Yeah.
I'd give them more.
Yeah,
I'd do lots more.
But that's
I love playing democracy.
Is that budget, like the Apollo space program, it's been calculated that it returned a 1,400% return on investment on just the technologies and the additional jobs that were created. So 1,400% of the expenditure was re-injected into the economy.
Nice. Well, has anyone played Democracy 3?
Yeah, I know a bit about it. Sure.
Nope.
Yeah, so it's a government game. You balance your things, your taxes, and everything. If you can get the money and stick it into a space program, it increases your economy, gives you a high-tech industry. It does fucking bonus brilliance for you.
It turns out plugging money into high-tech industries, universities, education, and things which will help infrastructure somehow benefit a country and its economy. Who'd have fucking thunk it?
I know, it's funny, I could cut my army as well.
Anti-flat out, I either heard you or a strong Russian accent then. Did you have something you wanted to add?
Oh, bloody Yuri came in here spieling about how he doesn't like democracy. Goddamn
Oh, for God's sake. You need to rope him down better than that, mate.
Bloody Yuri.
Give him a piece of raw beef. He likes that.
I'll put a bottle of vodka out in the corner. He'll go running to that.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. Right, I think it's probably time we continue.
Oh, sure. The subtitles read vodka fine.
White males and Asians or prove it too เพราะกูแม่งเป็นลูกครึ่งฝรั่งที่แรปได้และร้องเพลงลูกทุ่ง Yeah, I'm rapping in Thai, that's what I do เป็นคนไทยไปแล้วอยากเป็นผู้ดีที่มีศักดิ์ศรีเพราะพูดตรงไปไม่เคยโกหกใครแล้วไม่นอกใจ
Don't finger the moon. The moon. The moon.
Hold on, yeah.
Bullshit. There are so many videos of the ISS's construction. Bullshit. They don't understand that it wasn't. They don't understand that it wasn't like pieced together in space. It was built in modules, and the modules were launched and connected. That's all it is. And there's plenty of videos of the modules being launched and connected.
Yep.
Now, who else wants in on this topic? Because we keep stopping for one or two little guests, and there's a few people we haven't heard from too much. Let's see. How about Steaming Comfort Reason? What do you think so far?
Well, this guy's just an absolute fool. He is cherry-picking the shit out of this stuff.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Let's see. We first spoke to Anti-Flatter, but he didn't tell us much about what he thought so far. Just told us about Yuri. What do you think about this whole video, man, so far?
There's nothing new coming out of his fucking little rap thing. It's just the same old nonsense regurgitated with terrible back music.
Isn't it just?
Do you know what I think it is?
Oh, sorry, Jack. I don't mean to cut you off, but I think I heard Conspiracy CATZ then. What is it you wanted to add, mate? So we're talking over you a lot today, aren't we?
I was just going to say, like, I wanted to go back to the argument about, you know, NASA taking money every single day. And one of the flaws I get with this argument is I don't understand who the flat earthers think are benefiting. You know, if NASA is like a government sort of like company, then who do they think is literally benefiting from the government giving NASA that money, who then pay their employees, etc.? Where do they think that money goes? You know, where do they think that money for lies is actually going? You know, who do they think benefits from that?
Well, this is it. The greatest thing about these mysteries is always they say follow the money. And the last time I checked, not one flirt's done any research to prove the claim. They just bang on about Masons and Satanists. It's bloody ridiculous. Like, it's the laziest thinking. Dan, sorry, Dick Dawson.
They always talk about how we're being deceived, we're being lied to. Why? What does it get them? Please explain to me why anybody would go to the lengths and dollar values and personnel and so on to fake all of this. Why?
Right? It makes no
expensive plane tickets.
Because reasons.
Indeed. Mark the Dry Monkey, I cut you off a minute ago. Now, what did you want to add, mate?
Excuse me. Well, I mean, we all know that globe denial is the biggest pile of dog turds you could possibly fucking spew from a shithole in your face. And what this fucktard does here is make it sound worse.
Has he gone? I think he's blown his mic. I think he's actually blown up his mic. That's amazing. Right, Ozzy, you're probably going to have to check that he's been reconnected. Anyone else want to throw anything in before I ask him to push play?
Yeah, one more thing.
Oh, Kerry Mack sounds like we got a comment and Steaming Cup. So let's say Steaming Cup, what did you want to add?
Yeah, there was one little bit that we just passed by where he said they were photographing Neil Armstrong practicing in a LEM simulator. That was the inside of the Vomit Comet, the dumb shit.
Yeah! Bit of a giveaway, wasn't it? Now, Kerry Mack, you said you had a couple of comments there. Maybe
yeah, I just wanted to say Sylvester O'Cauley, I hope I said that right. He's here.
Yes. That's my boss.
So he's here. Oh!
Hey!
Hey, Sylvester, how's it going, man?
Hello, gentlemen.
You should be in bed. You got fucking work in the morning.
He should be telling you that, shouldn't he? What's going on?
Absolutely.
Do you tell him to sweep the floor at work as well? That's brilliant.
Yeah,
mate.
man.
Lovely stuff.
That is cool.
I think we've had all
He
the comments.
loves all
Now
my
let's
videos.
Oh, well, everyone loves your videos, Chapman. Come on, man. Right, Ozzy, let's continue.
Bingo. The moon. The moon.
Never a straight answer.
The elephants in the room, they never went to the moon. Prove everything told to you about space, so big fan of you. And you never will, cause it's a lie. Nothing is left the earth and return is not sick from you.
Pause.
Who was it said that? Was that Conspiracy Cats?
Oh, that was me, yeah, sorry.
Lovely, go ahead.
Right, I wanted to pause this one because this taught me something today. Because going back a couple of weeks, I thought that because they use that screen as an example of green screen technology, don't they? And they're pretending that the astronauts filming in front of a green screen. And I always used to think that if you're going to use chroma key, it had to be all blue or all green. And the fact that they had the grid on it stopped it being green screen technology. But apparently, when I've looked into it, you do actually get green screens or blue screens that look like that. Which taught me something, but obviously it's used for it's like a marker, isn't it, for experiments? It's to mark location.
There's a couple of reasons. One is to do with sort of motion tracking. If you're doing motion capture, then it helps you keep the object in relation to the background. But as you say, it also has other uses to do with sort of measuring things moving across it.
Yeah, and that's that's what I always took it to be. But one of the things that flat earthers have always said to me is, it's in front of a green screen or in front of a blue screen, and the faking stuff. And I've always poo-pooed it by saying no, a green screen has to be all green or a blue screen has to be all blue. But actually, having seen this video before and looking into it, I was wrong. You can actually get blue screens with the grids on it. It's a different technology apparently.
Although it's worth pointing out probably at this point that if they were that big, then as Ugly German Truths has pointed out in the chat, then if you had white lines like that on your green screen, you'd get the background with a huge white grid all over it.
Well, that's what I saw. That's what I always thought. But I found a fantastic website earlier on, and I can't. I'm going to link it you in Discord.
Yeah, that'd be great. We'll stick it in the description at the end.
But it literally did have a blue screen with a very, very similar grid with similar thickness lines, and it showed how it put a virtual background, something tracking they called it. But that did teach me something, because I'm always saying to flat earthers, no, it has to be the same color, and I've been wrong all that time.
I would imagine it allows you to do tracking of a perspective, because there's orthogonal those orthogonal lines will allow you to figure out something called the eigenvector.
Careful saying that. Every time you say the word orthogonal, a flurfer gets a boner somewhere.
I was going to say, I think I heard the mind of God there.
But I suppose it allows you to easily track kind of the camera angles and how that would have to interact with the projection of your of whatever you're projecting on that green screen image.
Indeed. It's basically a way that the detection gear can detect not only the green, but where the green is as you move the camera around, when, because obviously it could get confused with a big blank sheet. Anyone else want to throw anything in before we continue?
Quick thing here. Touchpad says, should we point out that back in the 60s, green screens were blue, not green? They started using green screens in the 70s.
That's an awesome one.
Hang on. What, though? I did film at university. We didn't have a green screen until about the year 2006, maybe. We had a blue screen the whole time until just before I left.
I was going to say, Kiri, I'm pretty sure that depending on the purpose, some Hollywood films will still use blue screens.
Yeah, I mean, I think green screen was kind of generally considered. I'm not going to get into this. Wrong place.
Well,
yeah, you're right.
It's just color you need. You just need any color that is not likely to pop up naturally.
Right.
Absolutely.
And
blue and denim and stuff as well.
Yeah, I've just done a bunch of green and blue screen stuff for that new intro and whatnot, and you still use the blue and the green because if you've got two different layers that you need to key out in two different ways in one scene, you use one blue and one green. And then we have color key where, you know, right now for our Google Meets logo in the center, we're using a color key to get rid of all the gray black around the edge. Like this is, it's pretty basic stuff these days, right? I mean, I learned this shit in 3 months.
Secrets. Don't give away the trade secrets to the show, Dick. What are you doing? Because you love the subject so much. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously you were going to be the one who jumped in with this because you are our resident expert on the subject.
Yeah, I had to, you know. But, I mean, it's one of those things where you're never going to drop the blue or the green because we need them both. We do multi-layers these days, and you have to have multicolors. That's just how it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Right, should we continue again because we're nearly at the end now?
In the room, if they never went to the moon, prove everything taught to you about space will be found and true.
NASA, never a straight answer. There's never a straight answer.
You never did it, and you never will. It's all a lie.
No one would have believed that in the last years of the 20th century, two humans, Instinct and Dubay, were to bring down the whole New World Order.
That's it. I think
that's it.
Wow.
We fucking made it. Oh my God.
We made it. Look,
Well
I'm going to go
done,
around the table
Eric
now.
Dubay.
Absolutely. Let's go around the table and talk to everyone about what the hell they've just seen. Let's see. Kerry Mack, we'll start with you and see if there's any comments to start off with.
Sure, we got. Oh God, people are not liking the sound of this, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, I bet.
So aside from all that, wow, this is so shit stuff. What I kind of want to know is, when are we going to see Eric Dubay's episode of Cribs? Because this shit is sure to take off on MTV pretty soon, you know?
Yeah, right. Absolutely. I can see that spindly man shaking his ass.
Right. No, Touchpad says, in general, sort of, Flat Earth's inability to Google is scaring him. Can people really be this stupid? He has a sunflower that knows the Earth is round, for fuck's sake.
Nice. Right, Dick Dawson, how about your good self, man? What do you think about all this? Because you have music production experience and everything. This must be driving you insane. Everything from bad facts to bad music.
This is what, you know, some of us, when I was back in the musician scene and whatnot, you know, when somebody who was good and was in a good band, but would just take like the studio gig for the steady paycheck, we called them whoring their abilities. Now, you can't say this guy's whoring his abilities because he doesn't really have any, but he's trying so hard. Like when I watch this video, all I see is this young drug addict standing on a street corner trying to get a date. It's pathetic.
Do you know what? Until he revealed his face, he was a lot more convincing. He had this sort of mild, calm, hypnotic voice, which sort of was vaguely ASMR-like. And then he showed that weird mug of his, and it was like, he's just an odd man. He's just an odd man with a slow voice, and it was completely destroyed. Like, he's ridiculous. Right, let's see who next. Who next is on the table? We've got. Well, let's go straight to Conspiracy Cats, our big guest of the day. What do you think of that nonsense? Now it's over.
You know, excuse me. With anything Eric Dubay puts out like that, it's just the same old trap. And Flat Earthers put Eric Dubay on a pedestal. You know, you always get the comments, why don't you take on Eric Dubay? Why don't, you know, you're scared of Eric Dubay? But when you watch his videos, it's the same old absolute pap that you get from Del, from Peter and Pete, Phuket Word. You know, none of what he said there or written there is in any way unique or challenging. You know, but what gets me about it is he's put that video out fairly recently, I reckon, is it? Mm-hmm. And he's been all those points have been thoroughly sort of like explained and answered and you know, demonstratively debunked time and time again. So it's either at this point literal stupidity or deliberate lying, isn't it? You know, to be putting that nonsense out.
But yeah, it's just difficult to imagine how he could merely be wrong at this point without being dangerously mentally ill or just a lying shitbag, frankly. I agree completely. Anti-Flatter, what do you think so far?
Well, as I say, I lost any respect for Dubay when I done my video of him, when he was talking about meteors can't be real because we never see them going up.
Yeah.
I mean, after that, it was just...
What?
It's hard to get dumber than that, but yet he's managed to achieve it.
He seems to have got it down to a fine art. I'll definitely give you that. Right, how about Sarcastic Barman? What do you think of what we've just seen?
Oh, fuck my life. It's fucking stupid. I've got to pull him up on the calling Neil deGrasse Tyson Bill Nye fucking words lost brain. Too much rum. Elon Musk, fuck my life. Elon Musk failed actors. It's like, yeah, they've appeared in TV shows. I mean, we've had fucking Bill Nye, Neil deGrasse Tyson, both in Stargate SG-1, plus many other shit. Fucking Elon Musk was in Big Bang Theory. Yeah, they've all done acting fucking roles in something. Doesn't mean their first job is actors. I mean, maybe Bill Nye a little bit more, but you know what I fucking mean? It's fuck my life. Oh.
Like a show about science and nerdism in general gets cameos on every week from all the great nerd stuff. They have real scientists, they have real astronauts, they have Brent Spiner, i.e. Data off Star Trek, and they're fucking surprised. I mean, have they not seen TV in the last 10 years? Dick Dawson, you sound like you one who had something there, mate.
Well, for God's sakes, Stephen Hawking was on The Simpsons a while back. Like, this is not new stuff, people. Holy shit, man. Right? You know, come on.
Absolutely. Now, AB Science, what do you think, mate?
Well, yeah, I was just going to raise the point about the actors thing, is because that's listed in their credentials, and it's because it's also kind of like where they're googling it, and that's pulling the information from Wikipedia, which just collates every little thing they've ever done. Now, if anyone were if anyone were to ever, if I were to ever become famous or something like that, and some arsehole looked into my life deeply enough, then and then decided to write a Wikipedia article, then they would say scientist, musician, actor, poet, lots of stupid little shit that would come up. It's as simple as that, right? Anyone who's ever done anything with TV will pop up on Wikipedia as an actor.
Yeah. I mean, you act once, that makes you an actor pretty much for life, just because that one time you acted a thing. It's not, I mean, it's a bit vague, but it is technically fucking accurate, isn't it?
Yeah,
Jesus.
You know what fucking Wikipedia is like.
Well, yeah, absolutely, right. Let's have a look at Monk the Drunk Monkey. What do you think, sir?
Well, I think that Eric Dumbass Bay should just fucking stick to doing yoga whilst dressed in women's underwear, locked in a room somewhere. I mean,
possibly without a key.
I don't understand people that say, I watched his video and I was convinced the earth is flat after the first 10 proofs. What the fuck is wrong with them, man? And another thing, when I went through that video, I think, I'm not exaggerating, I think it was about 17 proofs were literally, this lighthouse could be seen from beyond what would be, the curve and a wobbling, spinning ball. And, so what? A lighthouse can be seen by a fucking person on a boat just because it's still daylight when the sun's set, you fucking idiots. It's the same thing.
Oh, this is why we love you, mate. Thank you so much for adding to the conversation. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to carry on after that. I'm Dead Kennedy in Space. I'm sorry, mate. It's your turn, but I'm not sure how you're going to top it.
I've got lots to say. Every single fucking thing. You guys heard me at the end of that video. I was struggling to not yell out pause.
We had to hold him back with rope.
Everything he said is wrong. The shot of the Earth with no land visible. Oh, maybe that's because there's a lot of fucking water on the Earth. There are so many viewpoints from which you can photograph the Earth where you won't see a single continent, especially because clouds exist. Let's see, what else? Elon Musk, that was made up. You Google Elon Musk's name, there is no line that says he is an actor. If you Control F on Wikipedia on his page, the word actor is not in it. So that was a straight up lie. Sorry?
Absolutely.
I'm just
I don't
saying.
want to interrupt. You seem like you're on a roll here. But yeah, sorry. Who was that was jumping in? I beg your pardon.
I was being very rude. Sorry, Dead Kennedy in space. On you go.
No. Well, I mean, what else was there? Yeah, the actor thing, that's been covered. That they've acted, therefore actor will appear in their resume, which is basically the equivalence to a Google search. What else was there at the end there? There was one other frame that really pissed me off, and now I can't remember what it was. I'm blinded by rage.
Well, you get to go back and watch it again to find out now. No, I'm only fucking with you.
No.
It's all right. Now, Logical Troglodyte, are you with us, mate?
Yes, I'm here. And actually, Eric Dubay is not near as stupid as people think he is. This video shows a really good grasp of human psychology. Okay, people talk about multitasking, and they think that they're doing 2 or 3 things at once. But it is literally impossible to do true multitasking. You're doing a little piece of this, a little piece of that, and a little piece of something. But when you're switching back and forth rather quickly, you're not really doing it all at once. And he's asking you to do 4 things at once here. You have to listen to the music, you have to listen to the lyrics, you have to look at the pictures, and you have to read the captions, and he's throwing it at you so fast that you don't have time to focus and think. And the average person really isn't going to pause it for the purpose of saying, wait a minute, that was a stupid thing to say. Let me think a moment so I can debunk this. And his target audience are people who have either bought into the conspiracy or are on the fence and possibly getting ready to run down that rabbit hole themselves. That's not aimed at rational, educated people who can't easily debunk these things. So for the fence sitter or the person who's already in the middle of the rabbit hole, this is a very effective propaganda technique, throwing things at such a fast rate that it basically turns the brain off because it's too much to focus on at once. And by the end, if they hadn't paused it and thought about it, they'll start thinking, yeah, I get it now, or me, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, now Logical Troglodyte, that's a technique that's called shotgunning, or sometimes called the Gish Gallop, named after Dwayne Gish. A creationist used that technique a lot. It's actually very common in culty sort of behavior, because on the one hand, it sounds like you're giving out a lot of useful, valuable, factual information, but on the other hand, it allows you to disguise a lot of misinformation within it, or half-truth, or sort of unevaluated evidence. So someone uninformed will hear it and think, listen to all these facts this man knows, it proves it all, without ever having to stop to consider even a single one of them. You know, it's sort of like they have all these pieces of evidence, and the evidences are all worth 0, but they think if they keep adding 0 and add another 0 and add another 0, eventually you get to a point where you've got evidence, and it's just not how it works.
Yes, exactly. And the other side of that coin is, if you say a lie enough, fast enough, loud enough, often enough, people will assume that lie is true.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell it often enough and repeat it, you'd be amazed. Look at what happens.
They start believing it themselves.
Yeah, well, quite. Right, okay. So now, who have I not got to on the list? We've got Stephen Cup of Reason. So what do you think so far?
Oh, well, this whole thing just pissed me off. I mean, it's all just a bunch of cherry picking, misquoting, misrepresenting, taking things out of context, throwing it all in your face at once. This guy isn't capable of an original thought, I don't think. He seems like he suffers from something I like to call cerebral rectimitis. In other words, he's got his head so far up his ass he can't see daylight.
Beautifully put, sir. That's wonderful.
He'd have to have his tonsils taken out to see the sun.
Yeah, right. Nice. Now, Kerry Mack, you're the last on the list. Do you have any comments or questions, firstly, from the crowd?
I do. I got a couple here. So Nails077 asks, if any more stupidity was packed into that song, would it collapse into a singularity?
I think that is a possibility.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ugly German Truth says, when he hears World Model Feud, aka Dick Dawson, going so hard he gets heart palpitations behind his screen.
Nice.
2 more. Agent Globehead. He doesn't know who uses fuck the best between Barman and Debunk. So
Nice.
competition.
We'll have to have a fuck off then.
You'll have to have a fuck off, won't you?
Fuck it.
No, fuck off. Right. Last one.
Last one is from Ugly German Truths again. Dead Kennedy in Space. It's the exact wording of Elon Musk's IMDb biography.
Nice. It's interesting you say that because Dead Kennedy actually has a response for that, don't you?
Yeah, I didn't notice that they took the description from the Internet Movie Database.
Yeah. Lovely. Right, I think that's everyone around the table for the moment then. So speeding swiftly onwards, I'm going to hand back over to Dick Dawson to see what's coming next.
Well, I thought we should take a minute, have a little chat with CATZ, and then get into the next stupid because, you know, we got a good crowd in the audience and they're really interested to hear what everybody has to say with CATZ on the panel. So let's take a few minutes. What do y'all think?
Well, is Conspiracy CATZ back in the room? Because I know he had to leave for a few minutes. Are you still there, mate?
Oh, no, I'm back. Yeah, I'm back.
Brilliant stuff. Right, so we've done our little round table. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Kerry Matt to keep an eye out for any questions and comments from the audience, obviously. And what instead I'll do is I'll go around the table and ask them if they've got any things they'd like to sort of raise as points to talk to you about. Does that sound all right?
Awesome.
Lovely stuff. So how about I go to Dick Dawson first? Have you got anything you wanted to ask Conspiracy CATZ or something to raise?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking to myself, you know, we don't quite get enough musical conversation out of yourself, but there's obviously elements there. When did music come into your life, and do you see yourself bringing more music to the debunking in the future?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cough tonight. My brother-in-law, my wife's brother, is an unbelievable musician. I mean, like he's just incredible. And about 13 years ago, he sold me the Les Paul copy you see behind me, and that's when I started playing about 30, 40 years ago. And I got into we ended up being like a pub band, like a functions band, and it was, it was all good. It was a big part of my life. Really loved it. So what I want to do, I've got a third channel that nobody knows about because nobody subscribes to it. It's called The Conspiracy Cat. And on that channel, I'm putting loads of just shit at the minute, I'll be honest. Excuse me language. But I'm going to be putting...
What on earth are you saying? Have you heard Debunk talking? Are you mental? Sorry, carry on,
I'm
mate.
trying to pretend I'm classy.
Excuse me language. He's a teacher after all, right? You know?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, but so am I.
Oh, that's it.
Well, I'm so sorry.
Please
Before
continue,
I so
CATZ.
rudely interrupted you, please carry on.
No, excuse me.
Oh, we've killed him. What have we done?
Yeah.
We just wanted a cool
God.
guest.
We've broken cat.
But, no, I'm going to be putting some guitar tutorials on that third channel for the Chemtrails on Penis song. Sorry, the Chemtrails on Venus song.
That's my favourite. It's my favourite of them all, mate. Was it Chemtrails on Mars, Chemtrails on Venus? They come out of something, they come out of your penis. It's just genius, mate. Michelangelo and guitar. It's amazing.
That song got me in a lot of trouble from YouTube. The more trouble than I've ever been in my entire life. Really? It got the video deleted. I had to appeal to have the video not deleted. It was demonetized, and I don't know whether it's coincidence, but my views dropped massively after that for a while.
Oh, shit.
So,
Yeah, we're fucking doomed, then, lads.
I've got to say something.
Go on,
I've got to
Barney.
laugh. You're saying your third channel that doesn't have many subscribers. 1.2 thousand.
Oh, okay. So only like 4 times what we've got over here.
It's all relative, man. It's all relative.
Yeah, right.
I'd like
they're all
Must be nice to be
obviously. They're not unique subscribers who all obviously subscribe from Baldy Cats or whatever. But I wasn't being a dick when I said that. I feel like a dick now.
No, we didn't mean it that way. It is funny though.
Yeah.
It is
Also,
funny.
I don't think the unique subscribers argument necessarily stands. Me and Dick Dawson were having this conversation earlier on, which
Yes,
is
we
that
were.
just because it's one person doesn't mean that's not 2 subscriptions to 2 different channels. The point is the subscription, not the individual, really. I mean, okay, one person with 5 soccer accounts on the same channel's a cheat, but one person being subscribed to all your 3 channels is 3 subscriptions, man. It's like having 3 magazines to one person, you know?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So it counts. It counts. That's my point. It has to, anyway.
Who Who else has got a question for Mr. Conspiracy Cats here?
I do.
Go.
Okay. First of all, Conspiracy Cats, I just want to say it's a real pleasure to be talking to you live for the very first time. I've been a sub of yours for over a year now. But also, like you, I am a teacher.
Right.
I teach. I teach primary. I teach grade 3 kids, 8 and 9 years old, and I teach English, math, and science.
Oh man, you must have so much. I've got so much respect for you. You must have so much patience. I spent some time in primary school. It's hard.
I love the kids. It's so rewarding because when you see a child's eyes brighten up when they learn something new, there's nothing that can compare to that. But my question to you is, how do you feel when you hear these dumbass flirts accuse people like you and me of indoctrinating our students?
You know, I've had that from the very first off when I first did that thing with Sleeping Warrior. Before I was even Conspiracy Cats, I got that, and I get it every single day. But at the end of the day, like, I put flat earthers in 2 categories. I have the flat earther category that are willfully ignorant and lying to people who just say what they want to say because they want the YouTube money, they want the views, or they're just trolls and dickheads. And anything that comes out of their mouth, I take with a pinch of salt. But then the other half, I think, are people who are genuinely a little bit lost and need help. They need good people in their life, and if they're going to throw some accusations my way like that, then they've got problems of their own, and I forgive them for it.
Good point.
Like Jesus, almost. In fact, you could.
We've got a little bit of loud buzzing coming through at the moment. I think maybe Debunk, are you plugging in your phone at the moment or something?
Is that better?
Can you just check your connections?
No, I have, but it's just that my phone will die if I don't have it in, so I'll have to keep.
No, that's fair enough. You'll have to plug it in, mute it, unplug it. I'm really sorry about that, mate. It's just getting a bit buzzy over here. All right, moving swiftly onwards. Now, sorry, where were we? I was going around the table, but if anyone had a comment, jump on.
I was going to, wasn't I? I mean, I was just going to say, CATZ, it's nice to see another animal join the debunk, the animal debunk community, that is. Jim Bells is going to take some beating, though. Listen, mate, right? Don't go getting ahead of yourself, cornflakes, cats, whatever your name is. You're no fucking monkey, all right?
No. You're right. I can't climb trees.
No.
He can do a backflip from one branch to another. Can you do that?
I can't even climb to the first branch.
Right, brilliant. Okay, so Kerry, have we got any more comments coming?
We do. We've got quite a lot. I'll do my best to get them out there. So
just press on, yeah.
We've got one from Mr. Sensible. He wants to pass on his appreciation and thanks to Conspiracy Cats for pinning a comment on his vid and recommending that the viewers check him out. He's picked up an awful lot of subscribers and positive comments from people who came over from Cat's channel. So he says, thank you, and would you like some cheese?
Oh, you know what? He's good as Mr. Sensible.
Oh, yeah.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, he is. He popped up in my feed. And I think it was one of his Nathan Oakley videos. I can't remember, but I like that guy. He's well, I mean, all of you like, but he's good. I like him.
Yeah, I really like him a lot. Actually, I found him when he was only on about very low, 28 or something, maybe a few more. But he's brilliant.
Yeah, good content. Absolutely spot on. He's great.
Good balance of comedy and the nitty gritty.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's got that sarcasm down to a T. I like him.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Who was next up that wanted to get at CATZ here with a question, or is it Kiri's turn? Because from what I'm seeing in the back room here, holy, you got some stuff to go over.
Kiri just read out a comment from Mr. Sensible. She said she had quite a few though, so I mean, I'm perfectly happy for you to press on through a few of those, unless someone else really needs to jump in right now.
Well, I think we have a bit of a song, and I hear that maybe one or two of the guys on the panel might like to sing it. No?
Well, what song?
I'd sing it.
Dead Kennedy in space and sarcastic barman know what I'm talking about. Have you got that comment ready from the snark?
I'm just trying to scroll up and find it. Where'd it go?
Well, have you got another comment you put in the gap in the middle while we wait for them to tune their voices?
Some flat earth goes to bits, and if your name is
Orphan Red, yes, it's.
Unfortunately, the delay meant that wasn't quite as beautifully synchronized as we'd like, but I think you will get the point out there in the audience, right?
Right. Well, thank you to the snark for that. Honestly,
I think you developed that in the latest. Oh God, what was it?
AB, sorry, mate. You just stepped on conspiracy cats. Do you mind if I bring it back to you in a moment? Cat, sorry, mate.
That was me stepping in. I'll come in a second. That was me. My fault. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no worries. AB, sorry,
no
mate.
worries.
To you.
It's just about the snark because the how long will your conspiracy last video I did the other day, which got assaulted by Mr. Cheese Dick.
Yeah, brilliant.
The snark was just going through the comment section, just developing all these songs. It was beautiful to see that happening. It was absolutely wonderful. The amount of stuff that comes out. I may actually, with his permission, I may actually record that and do a thing with it.
Awesome.
Lovely stuff. Right, Conspiracy Cats, are you still there? Did you want to add something?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say the snark is the guy. I don't know if people know. He's the guy that wrote the outro tune for my channel. And
oh, cool.
Yeah, I've actually met him in person, and he's a top guy. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Cracking shout out. Someone else to go and look out for in the community, ladies and gentlemen. Right, I think we've had enough of a talk around for the moment. I'm going to ask Osman Come and Stick on the next video. Dick Dawson, do you want to give us a rundown?
Yeah, it looks like we are looking at Fuckwit Word, and wasn't this entitled something along the lines of how to make gravity in space? Gravity, Kevin. How would you have said that title? Could you do that one for me?
Gravity, you fucking retards! You ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity! Gravity!
I knew it. All right, Ozman, let's kick this shit into high gear, brother.
Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters, and debunkers. I'm going to demonstrate how to create gravity out of thin air. And we're going to use this space, right?
Already, huh?
Now, if you were doing this video, if it was you, would you not have cleaned your fucking shower first? Do you see the filth on that thing? Fucking scumbag. Clean up after yourself. What the hell is wrong with you?
It's probably scraped off the worst bits, though, I'll be honest.
That's worse. That's his idea of a fucking clean shower. Oh,
man.
Yeah.
As he just said, that he's going to create gravity.
I like it. I'm looking forward to this one. It sounds like he's got some real science. Let's continue.
Just air to create gravity. Now, this is usually something that...
Already, Chapman.
Yes, because he says he's going to create gravity. Like that. I mean, like, you don't create gravity, do you fucking dumb plonker?
Not how that works. Also, Steamy Cup of Reason, did I see your icon flashing for a moment?
I'm just, all I can say is,
yeah, right. It's that good.
Moron.
Well, look, we've barely started. Let's get a minute down before we cut in because he hasn't said anything yet. Let's continue for a minute.
Performed by qualified math magicians. So I've got an emergency crew standing by in case anything goes wrong. Now, all we need is some water and a little pumping device here and a common or garden balloon. Okay? And we're going to magically create gravity that doesn't exist in this space at the moment. But we're gonna make
it doesn't exist.
What do you mean it doesn't exist in that space? That space is on Earth.
Of course it exists.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't fucking hold.
You can't make this shit up, man. You just cannot. Science fiction writers watch this crap and go, "Holy Christ, where do they come up with this shit?"
What makes me laugh is I bet you could find a video of his somewhere else on his channel where he says gravity doesn't exist, and there he is saying he can fucking make it.
Cat. I want to hear from Logical Troglodyte. We haven't heard from him in a little while. The last time we did, he just basically explained the whole video in a beautiful paragraph. I'm wondering if he's got anything similar for us this far.
Yeah, how many minutes has this actually played up to this point? Like 50 seconds? Yeah. And I already counted, I wasn't even really thinking about it, but I counted 3 logical fallacies with, you know, just out of the corner of my ear. We got poisoning the well, we've got begging the question, we've got argument from incredulity, and fourth one, ad hom with the math magicians, you know. So
yeah, what the fuck?
Every word coming out of his mouth is a logical fallacy.
Logical. It sounds like it was written by the guys who write Ancient Aliens, for God's sakes.
It was, right. No offense, Junk Monk, but this was written by a drunk chimpanzee with palsy. I mean, give me a break.
Right, let's see. Sarcastic Barman, what about yourself, Esquire? What are you thinking so far?
Okay, sorry, that jumped on me. I wasn't
expecting an episode. You should know by now. I always give you a surprise call out, so come on.
I know, but I've got a mouthful of Maltesers.
It's the perfect moment. My timing is unerring.
Right. Okay. Wait. Right. The only way he's going to create any sort of major gravity, well, not even major gravity, minor gravity, he'd have to just fucking sit in the shower, and that is something I don't want to see on a fucking YouTube video. At least then he's putting mass into that fucking space, as long as we don't count the empty space between his fucking ears.
Yeah,
but oh fuck my life.
Between his legs.
Right, Conspiracy CATZ. I think I might have seen you trying to cut in very briefly there, but I may have missed you. Did you want to add anything?
Yeah, only to say, like, I did a video a while ago where I was in a stream with Nathan Thompson, and he was living with Bob Nadell, you know, from Globusters. He was living with him for a short time, and he did a stream. He deleted it. I managed to catch a little soundbite, and Nathan was saying that Bob Nadell came downstairs in a real foul mood one morning. Bear in mind, this is Bob Super Noodle Doodle Nadell that proved, you know, like with the fiber optic gyroscope that the Earth rotates. He come downstairs saying that some flat earthers on the internet are so dumb that it really pisses him off. And when he showed Nathan the video, it was one of Phuket Word's videos. So like, we are looking at the flat earther that pisses off Bob Nadell, you know, who pisses off all the other flat earthers. So we're you know, that's the level we're operating at.
That's brutal. Hey, Conspiracy CATZ, Rapid X wants to know if you want some mushy peas.
Rapid X is a cool guy. I met him as well just a couple of weeks ago. Well, I met him a couple of times.
Nice
Bloke.
Oh, he's
a real cool guy. I chat to him a lot. He's a really nice guy. Absolutely.
Yeah, he is.
Now, look, I just want to check. Does anyone else want to jump in quickly? Because I've got some comments from Kerry Mack. So unless everyone's fine, sounds like it. Cool, Kerry Mack. You've got a couple of questions for Conspiracy CATZ, I think. Not necessarily video related, but we just some questions, right?
Sure, I've got one video related from Wolfgang. He said, "This is a fantastic example of fractal wrongness. Points the basis his main point are wrong in the first place. No matter how deeply you zoom into his point, you won't find a premise that was okay." So very clever.
Yeah, neatly put. Lovely, absolutely. And a couple of other questions you said, or some actual questions, I mean.
Sure. I guess whilst we're on this subject and watching this video, we've got a lot of sort of 15 degrees per hour drift going on in the chat, but Robert Leger wants to know if CATZ has ever considered doing a live stream.
Oh, you know what? No. Because
seen how crazy it is back here, right?
Robert's great, but like, look at the quality of what you guys are doing now. Like, look at the backdrop, what you do. Look at how you've got it all set up. I couldn't even figure out what Google Meets was. I don't care who knows that. I couldn't even figure out how to. So, no, I haven't got any plans of doing a live stream. No.
Yeah, guys, I had to email the link from Google Meets. I sent it through Discord, and Kat said, "You're going to have to email that because I do not know how to do this on my phone." So there you go.
Hey, CATZ, let me say right now, if you ever do decide to do a live stream in the future, I know that between our production team, we'd be more than happy to take the back end for you and make it work.
You know,
Phrasing.
I'll tell you what, I'll make this as a genuine offer. My channel turned 1 last month, and I contacted loads of people. I don't even know Marvel Girl or Julian HG, who made my Space Comma, Sean Hufford, and I was like, right, I'm going to do a 1 year live stream. And Godless Engineer helped me out. He told me how to use OBS and stuff like that before they took Hangouts away, and I still can't do it. But if you wanted to do like a joint one that we could live stream on both channels, or as like a big advert for your channel, something like that, you know,
we would absolutely be down for that. I can guarantee you.
Joint one with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, let's after the show, let's plan it up in the near future, CATZ. It's done and dusted. Let's do it, buddy.
Done and done. Absolutely.
Conspiracy Cats, there is a lot of support for your live stream possibilities in the chat. A lot of people saying that they'd be more than happy to help you out with that. But you got us too, so it's all good. Let's get it done.
The dream team has arrived.
Exactly.
Can I just point out? I think it's amusing, Conspiracy Cats, that you can't set up a live stream, but you can prove how seismology proves the globe.
Yeah, where is the disconnect there? That's bizarre. Right, should we continue on the video a little bit more?
Suddenly appear. So, all right, and now stand by. Are you ready, group? Okay, right, they're ready just in case they've got fire extinguishers and everything, just in case anything goes wrong. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up this balloon. Now you see here, you see what's happening? This balloon is now becoming a mass. Oh, you see, it nearly messed up there. Nearly had water all over the place. Could have been dangerous. Okay? You see? I have...
We must pause. We must pause.
Okay. So, like, on the one hand, the water balloon is a mass. There's mass there. But on the other hand, it's made of things that were already in the big gravitational well he's fucking sitting in. He hasn't made it out of it. He's just moved some stuff, is what he's actually achieved.
Yes.
He's moved some water from there to here and inside this bit of rubber.
Jimbo Joe, by the logic of this thing, I could create gravity by rearranging my living room.
Right? Put all the furniture in the middle. Black hole. Marvelous.
I can take a fucking dump in my hand and throw that and create gravity. Awesome.
Yeah, but you do that all the time.
I didn't. Yeah, but
only now it's science.
I'm going to create gravity this time.
But the thing that struck me about this video is that if you take away his, like, he cracks little jokes and stuff like that, and if you actually take away the kind of nasty intent that he has behind it, it's actually quite funny.
Yeah,
I actually did quite appreciate the jokes that he delivers in this little video and the little snarky comments. It's like, because it's exactly the kind of thing that, you know, I would do if I'm doing a thing for you know, about Orphan Red or Sleepy Warrior or something like that. It's
absolutely.
Exactly. I really enjoyed it, and I do have respect for that. So hat off to him, but. On the other hand, he's a fucking idiot.
It's still just bullshit.
He's a fucking moron. Well, we pointed out
taking
before.
The piss in this video. That's it. He's just taking a piss, and that's why I actually quite like this.
We know flat earthers, because they don't have any knowledge, they tend to be quite creative. We've seen a lot of excellent video edit. I mean, okay, yeah, we've seen a lot of filming in cars by morons, obviously, but out amongst the flurfs, we've seen some really good video editing, some funny stuff. There's the Flat Earth comedian guy. There's some really good sort of parody songs. If you take away the fact that they're obviously being mean, there's some good stuff out there. It's just a shame they can't put all that brain power to something valuable like thinking.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they'll like my latest rant. I imagine that they're going to mirror that, but they'll cut the end off.
You think?
Yeah, just that last 3 seconds.
Yeah, they'll just leave the wake up bit and then they'll cut it.
The monkey.
Right, let's see. I'm going to ask a couple of people around the table for a couple of comments, and we're going to hit play on the video again in a second, just quickly. So I'm going to ask, firstly, Logical Troglodyte, what do you think so far?
I'm sorry. I had to lay back down and let the blood flow to my brain. His voice just kind of numbs my brain, and I have to get more blood flow to wake it back up.
Oh my God, it's amazing, isn't it? How do you it's like getting drunk almost. You don't have to take shots. You just listen to him talk, and then you're so drunk with comedy afterwards you can barely breathe, and you get like hypoxia for a bit. It's quality. The steaming cup of reason. What do you reckon?
Sorry.
All I can say again is, this guy's an idiot. Oh my God!
We're still fucking there.
Oh, I still have to scrape out my drawers from the crap I took laughing.
Oh, what an image! Dick Dawson, did you start there, or was it AB? One of the two.
Yeah, that was me. But that was me. I was just going to remark on the thing that I don't understand about fuckwit word is that I've seen some of the comments and stuff like that on his video, and it was like the first time he showed his face, there were people actually going, it's like, I thought he was kind of sexy until he showed his face.
A war-ravaged face of his that looks like the worst parts of the craters of the moon. Bless him. He's got. I mean, I've got classically British teeth. Okay, my teeth look like you took a bunch of French Legionnaires, and they're all scruffy and they're all leaning against each other, and they're a little bit crooked. But his mouth is like a vandalized graveyard. It's like someone threw a fucking grenade in and then demolished the remains. It's a nightmare. His face is like Valles Marinaris after a house fire. Sorry, I'm done.
Yeah, like that one.
He looks like somebody just took silicone, like a thin little sheet of it, and stretched it over a skeleton that you would see in grade 6 science class, right?
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
He makes Treviat look like David Hasselhoff.
What do you think about his face?
It's scary.
Blimey.
When you look at it, it's like,
by
oh
it.
my God. Oh no, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, that's all right. You said I was silenced, and I was like, oh shit, I broke it again.
I thought you had been silenced by the sheer sort of immensity of his face. I mean, you can only see it because it's so enormous.
I mistake his face for the moon sometimes. He's that tall. It's fucking weird.
Right.
But yeah, he's not the sort of face even a mother could love.
Do you know what, right? For me, he looks like the boring old sod that he fucking sounds.
Now, gentlemen.
Did you see the video he posted the other day about a scorpion in the garden?
Hold on here. Logical was coming in to tell us off for picking on him. Let him go.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Gentlemen, please. I mean, we are at this point devolving into a logical fallacy known as ad hominem. What he looks like has nothing to do with the words coming out of his mouth. Now, that being said, between his physical appearance and the things he's saying, I'm suspecting a methamphetamine addiction. I don't have any evidence other than the things he's saying and the quality of his teeth, but I have worked with addicts for over a decade, and I can tell you that there is a possibility.
Guys,
I only said he was boring.
Really quick rebuttal here. When I say that he has a terrible face and a mouth like a vandalized graveyard, in no way am I suggesting that that is impacting on the awfulness of his arguments. We can debunk that with straight up science every time. It's just a hilarious face, and I think it needs drawing attention to. That's all.
Especially on our show, because that's what we do.
So is mine. I mean, I'm kind of old, short, bald, and round, but that's why I go with animation, because my physical appearance has nothing to do with my message. Yeah, I mean, so come on.
Logical. No, go on, Kerry.
Touchpad says, do you think he made some gravity in his mouth? Because his teeth are all over the place. And I just
all right, look, we will take a lead from Logical.
Hold on. I got one that has to be read out. Sorry, I got one that has to be read out.
One more.
Stupid Monkey says, if you think Phuket is bad, my wife puts a bag on her head in case my bag falls off.
Beautiful, sir. Kennedy, yeah.
First thing, Phuket, your face looks like Second thing. Hello, Globe Earth researchers, debaters, and debunkers.
Fucking do it.
I'd like to pose a hypothetical I can't keep doing the accent. I'd like to pose a hypothetical experiment to everyone here. If say let's go through his experiment again. Let's say that when he starts pumping the is it water?
Yeah.
I fucking hope.
Yes. Let's hope so. I don't know why he's got that water pump. That's an enemy device.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Kennedy, you're lucky I am the only Yank in this panel. And I am one of the few Yanks that don't own firearms. And I say you're lucky because if you keep doing that Phuket voice, you might get shot.
Please don't. We need logical troglodyte for sensibleness. If he goes on a killing spree, he'll go to prison, and then the Shills will never be the same again. Especially if you've got a hole in your head. So don't antagonise him. He's bad enough with that club he throws around.
Yeah, we'll lose our scientist and caveman in one hit. Oh no, you're a scientist, are you? I was thinking of AB for a second.
Oh god.
Look,
sorry, Kevin. I'm just kidding.
Folks.
That's the one.
That's it, right, gentlemen. I'm going to suggest, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to suggest we hit play on the video and get a little bit more. Who's that?
Hang on.
I didn't actually get to the hypothetical experiment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right, yeah.
When he's pumping the balloon full of water, if through some freak action of nature, the bottle were to start rising up into the air, would his point then suddenly be valid if they're suddenly caught in some weird state of hydrostatic equilibrium? I find that a really funny mental image.
That's a really good one, Kevin. That's awesome.
It would also help their fucking buoyancy and density case, wouldn't it? If as he pumped the water out, the bottle started to float.
Oh, dear, oh dear. Right. Any final comments? Because I'm going to suggest that we continue.
Let's keep going.
Lovely. In which case, let's continue.
A mass out of thin air, just using water, and now we're going to see.
He's just said he's made fucking gravity out of thin air and water. Well, which one is it? Thin air or fucking water, you dozy fucking dork? Also, you didn't. You used a fucking balloon, a bottle of water, a water pump, and a few fucking calories. Now, those calories are needed to keep your fucking brain cell in action, you plum.
Right, last little interjection. Let's get back on. Let's continue.
This balloon has created gravity where none existed before. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1. There you go. All right. Now I can assure you that that dropped at 9.8 meters per second because when we create...
Pause. This is like watching a drunken clown at a child's birthday party. What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
You know what? Whoever it was who was saying to just watch these as though he's taking the piss, I'm having a great time now. This is hysterical.
Just before we go on, sorry, that's a quick interjection. I have a suspicion we're about 3 seconds from the end of the video. I think that might have been his last point. So instead of doing a quick one now, let's just get those 3 seconds out of the way. We can have a big old round table to the end. Is that all right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Lovely. Let's continue.
There was suddenly this magical force that came up from the earth and pulled it down. And that is how you create gravity in your own home. Thank you very much. It's all right, guys. Okay, it's safe now.
No Phuket word.
That was
God, what did we just watch?
First things I know it's going to explode. We all want to go, but I want to go first to our big guest of the evening, Conspiracy Cats. You've seen the video. You've got experience with Gigantor yourself. What do you think of the video, and what do you think of him? And what's your general breakdown of it all?
I think I've just shit my own brains out. I think that was. I really have. I don't know where to go with that. Like, he can't be serious. He can't be, you know. But then I did have a couple of weeks ago, and it was a friend chat, wasn't a debate, and I was, you know, I could see whenever I made any kind of point to him that he would just nod along politely and then not address it and just, you know, just be completely oblivious. So I'd love to think he's trolling in that video. I would love to think he's trolling, but Jesus wept, no, that guy needs help.
Isn't he just? Does not he just? Now, look, AB Science, what do you think about this so far, mate? This was madness, wasn't it?
I think it's just fucking funny. Yeah, he's got to be taking the piss, and you know, it's all the little things that he said as well, and it's actually made me really appreciate this video because he cannot be serious, therefore he must be taking the piss, and because of that, he clearly has a sense of humor, and I like it.
Well, it's nice that you can see the silver lining in all this. You've seen the better side of an obvious snake oil salesman, because I'm not sure I could have found it. You know, I just regard the man as an utter pillock and a twaddler of bunk. All right, let's see who's next on the list. Sarcastic Barman, I just heard you making a little gag there. Oh, and just before we go on, Chapmunk the Drunk Monkey, you're going to have to mute or unplug, I'm afraid, mate. You're buzzing like a vibrator again.
That's because you sat on it.
And it's gone. Right, sorry.
Well, he's muted.
Well, in fairness, I have seen some comments about vibrators revolving around.
Really? I mean, I assume.
Do you remember that video? That was amazing. Sorry to jump in, but that was too funny, man.
That's all right. Sarcastic Barman, where were we? Sorry, mate. It's your turn. Here we go.
Yeah, I think for once my comment's actually going to be more sciencey than AB Science's, which is quite funny. I'll get him to confirm, because you've got Gigantor saying, yeah, that balloon's dropping at 9.8 meters per second. Well, yes, but also wouldn't the water being squirting out the back cause the effect that it's going to be moving even faster?
Yeah, that would definitely create thrust. It depends on, you know, it's a bit of a chaotic system. It just depends on where the spout is directed. But yeah, it would definitely create thrust. And if the spout is directed upwards, so the water shoots out upwards, then it will be accelerated down. But because of the chaos in the system, the whole balloon flips around and the spout spins around some axis. So you're going to have a chaotic system where the thrust changes.
See, and this is what we pay that guy for.
This is what.
You guys
there's
me?
no NASA Shield tax. There's no NASA Shield. You're giving it away, Barman. For fuck's sake, man.
No, I pay him in booze when I go
we
to.
We do this for the fun of it, or something.
But no, and I have
brainwashed by
to say
NASA.
about his face.
Yeah.
I found the perfect clip. I really hope this isn't too loud and I don't deafen everyone.
Kill it! Kill it with fire!
Bravo, sir. Well chosen. I like it. I love having technical people on the team. We always get little gizmos like this. It's brilliant stuff, isn't it? Right, let's see who's next on the list. Dick Dawson, mate. What do you think so far? Come on, this is madness.
Well, I was going to go into one of those Dick Dawson moments, but let's pull it back here and look at this, okay? What we have is a slime ball who obviously knows that what's coming out of that shit flap he calls a fucking mouth is bullshit, and he is smart enough to fucking sell it well to the absolute clueless, empty-headed fools who believe this shit. And how many people like CATZ, ourselves, everybody on the panel, the whole 9 yards, and so many others out there on our side of the argument have debunked this crap, and yet these fucking little shit stains on the underpants of society keep it up. They know they're wrong. They know it. I know it. Fuck that. Fuck you, fuckwit word.
Oh, brilliant. Dawson's gone full dick again. How good is that? Right. Oh, I love it when he does that. Right, who's next on the list? Now, I've spoken to Conspiracy Cats, I've spoken to Sarcastic Barman and Dick Dawson and AB Science, so that leaves me with Chapmunk the Drunk Monkey.
Well, hello, sir. Something that Conspiracy Cats just said, I'm a little bit concerned about. He said he's just shit his own brains out. Well, the problem is, if you've shit your own brains out, that's how you become a globe-denying, gravity-rejecting fucktard who thinks that we've got a massive upside-down fishbowl above our heads.
It's all perspective.
Sorry, cornflakes, cats. What was that?
That's it. Perspective. I've turned now, mate. I've turned now. The answer to any question you've got is perspective.
Right, you know, I think he's right.
Fraction.
Perspective.
Due to perspective.
Yes.
What about angle of attack, though? Anyway, look, sorry, thank you for that. Anti-Flatter, we haven't heard from you yet. How are you feeling, sir? What do you think about the nonsense?
Well, it's kind of hard to form words after listening to fucking Phuket word. But yeah, I'll be a little sensible here and just talk about his, I suppose you can call it an experiment. He's missing the first component, though. He never demonstrated that that area had no gravity to begin with. He just waved his hand about.
Right.
So when he put the balloon in there, but it was just a balloon.
He moved some stuff.
When he waved his hand through the air, he didn't hit any gravity. You saw it.
He's right. He's right there.
And corrected him.
Right. So we think he might have a point then. Are we all flirts now?
Well, it actually doesn't matter, right? Subtitles aren't getting me right.
I swear, anti-flatter. Sorry, Jim, but I swear, anti-flatter, those subtitles are personally out to get you.
Yeah, Google hates you, mate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm having to agree with you guys.
You'll have to learn a proper BBC English accent, I'm afraid. We'll see whether or not you understood that.
Oh, is this Jim Bells coming out?
I'm getting a huge amount of echo from somebody. Where's that coming from?
Purpose.
Oh,
it was the evil voice of an AB Science playing in the background.
Sorry, mate, I hadn't realised.
Oh shit, I didn't actually realise I still had some effects running.
Yeah.
I was gonna interject at some point saying hello from Satan.
The Sonic Overlords have arrived. Right now, Dead Kennedy in space. Where are you? Are you there, mate?
I'm on a beach in Florida. I'm trying not to. I don't know. I'm torn between appreciating it the way I would appreciate a badly made movie, and just being annoyed by how dumb it is.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's the same as ever. It's that balancing act between fury and laughter. Like, I think I'm mellow in the middle, but part of me wants to kill things. Logical Troglodyte, what do you think?
My stupid mic was stuck.
The big troglodyte fingers, mate. You do struggle sometimes, bless you. Tablets weren't designed for cavemen.
Yeah, not really. But anyway, I have tried since I started my channel once a month to make a debunk video for Phuket Word. I can't do the voiceover because I'm laughing so hard. You know, I just can't. I can't think of any way to make it where I'm not laughing my brains out. You know, I even tried to make a Star Trek episode with him, and I couldn't get through the lines without, you know, cracking up. It was just impossible. That's the only reason, in case anybody was wondering why I haven't got that one yet, is on my victim list.
Indeed. Oh, did we lose a Jimbo? No. We might have lost a Jimbo.
Yeah.
No, he's back. He's back. I'm here. Can you hear me?
I could have just bored him to death. I don't know.
A tiny little freeze out of microphone there. Sorry about that. Stephen Reason, have we spoken to you yet?
Not yet.
Okie dokie. Well, why don't you give us your final thoughts on this video? Because after this, what we're going to do is we're going to get a few comments from a certain panel member who's agreed to read them out for us.
Awesome. All I can say is I thought it just couldn't get any stupider than Pratt's bendy water tube experiment. But Phuket has just given us another take on the same damn thing.
Right? Do you remember his pesto experiment?
Yes, I remember that pesto experiment. What an idiot.
I didn't possibly think he could top it, but he's proven me wrong.
He has done it today. He has done it today. I can't stop laughing at this idiot. I'm speechless.
Yeah, right. The words.
This guy's an overgrown sea monkey, you know, those little sea monkeys you could order in the back of the comic books way back in the day.
I had him, brother. I had him.
Right, now, normally what I'll do at this point is I would probably go over to Kiri Mack and ask her to read out some comments, but there's going to be a bit of a change of plan today, I think. Isn't that right, Kiri? Why don't you tell us?
Well, we have a couple comments here for our very esteemed guest, Conspiracy Cats, to read in his chat box Travels voice. So have you managed to work Discord well enough to get those cats?
I can see they're the ones kind of like highlighted in brown, aren't they?
That's the ones.
Right.
Perfecto.
Stop.
Let's do it.
Legend. Thank
Let
you.
me know when you're ready.
Off you go.
Right, here we go. This will show you. I do these in one take, honest. Right, ready?
Go.
Hello. My name is Matthews. It's such a good name that they decided to give me twice. Anyway, what I've decided to say is, he's just a dirty piss flap. So, yeah, I said that. Thanks.
I thought I muted my mic. Sorry.
That was, oh, God, I've just seen underneath you said, oops, not that one. I wasn't supposed to read that one, was I?
Thank you for doing it.
Oh, God.
You made my day.
Oh, God, no.
That was
Sorry, I wasn't
amazing.
supposed to read that one.
No, it's good.
But thank you, Matthews, anyway. Right. Let's do the next one then. From Tony Grunwald. Oh, he's good. He's good. I like Tommy. Hi, Tommy. Hello, my name's Tommy. I'm a big fan. Anyway, we can't use models. We need to do real-world experiments on both a flat Earth and a globe Earth. Yes. But I don't want to take the mick out of Tommy because I really like him, so I'm just going to end it there. He's good. What else have I got?
How diplomatic.
From Wolfgang is nice as well. If our eyes are round, which they genuinely are, I think, how can dinner plates be flat? It's a fucking mystery. I haven't got a fucking... I wouldn't say that on my channel, but it's not going to get demonetized. It's you, so fuck. Only joking. Oh shit, I lost a comment. If our eyes are round, how can dinner plates be flat? The answer that, globe heads, yes. Take that, space, comma. Also, if the Earth is a globe, how can birds stay in the atmosphere? Because I've never heard birds correct for curvature. That's right. So yeah, there we go. That's it.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much, man. You've made my day. I think everyone on the panel loves you forever for doing that.
Let's hear it for Conspiracy Cat.
Get in there, cornflakes cats.
Okay, so now look, we're coming rapidly up on the end of the show, so I'm going to do one quick more around the table. Only this time I'm going to ask you if you've got any final comments for the day, either about the show, stuff you've got coming, chance to chill out, all the usual business. Let's start at the top of the list. Man with the plan, Dick Dawson. What have you got for us?
Well, come on. Everybody, wasn't that great? Let's hear it for Conspiracy Cats. What an awesome episode this was. Oh my God, that was some fun. I love it. Right on. As for what we watched, well, I think I made my point pretty clear. Phuket Word, you are a fucking idiot. Ding. And Eric Dubay, suck my balls.
How eloquently.
I thought I'd give him a little Delano.
Yeah, brilliant. Right now, I'm going to go to our erstwhile producer. You haven't heard him. He's been away for a while, and he's been a bit limited today because he's been producing so hard, but he gets a chance to speak. Come out of the cage, man. What do you think of today's show?
What? Sorry, I can't hear from my left ear anymore, and I think I can feel something coming out. It's a bit warm. I can't hear it. I can't hear very well.
It's just blood, not actual brains.
I don't know. It looks a little bit pinkish. I'm not sure.
Oh God.
But in all reality, thank you so much, CATZ, for doing this today. Really do appreciate it. And also,
I loved it.
Just for fuck it word, you can't create a gravity well within a gravity well. You fucking.
Well, I mean, sort of you can, sort of,
Create a
but it's
smaller one.
commutative. Yeah, it's like you get barycentric mass and it starts getting complicated and all that sort of thing. I mean, there's an argument that says what he did there was he did move mass around so that he created an extra center of mass in that room where mass was in one place where it previously hadn't. But it doesn't, I mean, it's just not attached to his argument, basically.
Yeah, he provided a perturbation to the local gravitational field. But
indeed,
yeah, it's not a big deal.
No, quite. It's not like there was, water. That water wasn't then going to stick to a ball, for instance.
No, exactly.
Right now, Stephen cover. Sorry, Osman Carter, do beg your pardon. So, do you have any stuff that you want to shell out before we say goodbye, by the way?
Yeah, it's all good. No, I've got nothing going on for next week or so. I'm just going to relax.
Okay, fair enough. And I forgot to ask Dick Dawson, actually, if there was any last things you wanted to shell out, Ball, before we all say goodbye.
Well, we're talking in the chat right now here on the show, and it looks like World Model Feud might go live in a little bit with the after show.
Nice.
Well, now, that sounds like an exciting adventure, so we'll look forward to that, indeed. Okay, Anti-Flatter, what about you? What did you think of the show, and what have your final thoughts for the day? Anything to shell out before we say goodbye?
Nothing really to shell out, just... So thanks again to CATZ for coming on, and Phuket Word and Dubay have just again proven that between the two of them, they may have a brain cell, but neither one of them are using it right now.
Oh, sorry, these never get old for me. I love this. Thank you very much indeed. Sarcastic Barman, what about your good self?
Oh, fuck my life. The two of them are fucking twats, and I would not be serving them any more alcohol in my pub. Fucking hell,
yeah, baby.
There is no way I'd trust either of them to walk down the fucking road by themselves, let alone fucking try and teach someone about fucking world models.
Yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
God.
Any last videos to shell?
I've got Orphan Red stuff coming up this week, but I just have to ask, can CATZ in the voice say space comma?
Space comma.
Oh, my life's complete now. That's it. It's done. Bucket list. Thank you very much for that, Sarcastic Barman. AB Science. Any last hypotheses?
No, I mean, it's all been very clear. I mean, I really enjoyed Gigantor's. Shit, I can't even remember his proper name now. Gigantor's video. Yeah, that's the one. I just know him as Gigantor.
Yeah, I know, me too now. It's completely it's just Gigantor.
Yeah, but I enjoyed this video because aside from the bullshit and everything, he really did show that he's got a sense of humor. And he's got a certain sense of wit that other flat earthers don't seem to have.
Yeah,
and I respect him for that. So okay, but let's not discount the fact that he's a fucking moron.
Yes, indeed. All right, thank you very much indeed, AB Science. Now, Jackman the Drunk Monkey. What the fuck was all that all about then?
Fucking biggest pile of bollocks. I mean, it was funny. It was funny, but a load of rubbish. Yeah. And I'd like to say, Conspiracy Cats, I genuinely love your channel. I remember I found you probably around November last year and binged watched what you'd already had on there. I was subbed under Justin Lawrence. I don't know if you remember. Can I have Postman Pat?
Yeah, I do. I genuinely do.
Can I have Postman Pat back if you're not going to use it?
Nice.
Oh, that was you, bloody hell.
Yes.
Well, we'll have to do some stuff together.
Look at that, 6 degrees of Jackman the Drunk Monkey.
I'll even tone down the swearing.
Wow.
Don't do that.
Big. That's like North Korea disarming. Jesus.
Yeah, no, you got to let the monkey be the monkey, man.
I would like to do a quick shit out as well. For you, Jim Bells on Jim Bojo's channel, guys, go and check him out, man. He's funny as fuck and really dry and really cool, man. I love your cat.
Oh, fucking mate. Right. Jim Bells is kicking ass and taking names. Go to Jim Bojo's channel and check it out. It is unbelievably cool.
Awesome.
Is it possible to get Jim Bells on quickly, just to give a little plug for his videos?
Well, I suppose that's entirely possible if you like, gentlemen. He is, after all, living around the heist. What would you like him to say?
Well, I'd like to ask him a question, actually. Jim Bells?
Yes, certainly, Mr. Monkey.
I think you should fucking ditch that Jim Bojo and get your own fucking channel, pal. And I reckon you'll fly past him, mate. Show him
Trust
up.
me, old chap. I would have by now already, but I have to live with the fellow.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to empty the litter tree, right?
Difficult, one would imagine.
Mr. Jim Bells, could you do the line from your last video? Do fuck off, please. That's a good chap. Can you do that one for us?
Oh, that was the one where I had to stop that dreadful cello, ghastly chap, wasn't it? Who basically said to me that the Orville was some shit space program, and I thought, no, old chap, I'll stop you right there. The Orville's an excellent television program. Now, do fuck off. There's a good chap.
You see? Go and watch the cat.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm going to let Jim Bojo have the microphone back now. Is that all right? He's getting quite anxious.
So that
right.
Everybody in the chat, toodaloo, everybody in the chat, you've got 2 cats. Go sub to both of them.
Yeah. Monkey
Right, he's gone. He looked quite pleased, so I don't know what you said to him, but thanks, because he'll be happy all night now.
Yeah, I told him that he's going to overtake your channel, mate.
All right, and
we all die.
Yeah,
oh, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Who's
there
there?
was some weird drop there. Holy, okay.
Okay. It's Kennedy in space. How about you? You're next, right?
Yeah. I don't want to show up my channel again. I did that at the beginning. Check the channel if you want to see what's going on there. You can find out there. I want to thank Conspiracy Cats for coming on, and also Cats, I want to thank you specifically for introducing me to seismology as a globe proof, because I honestly think it's one of the most ironclad things the community has. I've never seen a decent response to it.
It is a good one, isn't it? It is. The one thing I've heard, the defense to that from, it's not really defense, but apparently somebody dug a hole once, and some seismology, it was like a deep hole, and they found slightly more water down there than they thought. And Anthony Riley jumped on that, and because they found more water at the bottom of the hole than was predicted, he literally says that the whole of seismology cannot be trusted. So that seismology argument is debunked, unfortunately.
Because he dug a hole.
Oh my God. I cannot believe I just heard that. Holy shit.
I'm not kidding.
These people often have real lives with families and bills, mortgages, and food happens. They tie
Why do you
shoelaces.
think they fucking film from their cars?
Right?
Yeah, because the family is like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Go do it in the garage like Dan Pratt, you moron.
Nice. I'm just going to have to one last production issue. Steaming Cup of Reason. I think you might have to mute, mate. We're getting a lot of static from the background. I'm going to move on to Logical Troglodyte. Hello, sir. What do you think, mate? It's been a long show. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you, Cass, for being on the show, supporting the Shills. Thank you for everybody in the chat that is our regular audience and any newcomers to our audience. Thank you for supporting the Shills. And Robert Leger, we're going to have to talk after the show. You just subbed to me today. Really? How long have we been friends? Wow. And while I'm on that subject, I want to thank a new subscriber, Touchpad, who hit that bell and like button for me during the show. I appreciate your support to my channel. Thank you very much, sir. Or ma'am, whichever the case may be. I'm not making any assumptions, or at least I try not to.
Earlier on, Ozzy called it he, and actually it turned out he was incorrect, I think.
I'm sorry, what was incorrect?
I think he was incorrect. Is that right, Ozzy? Yeah, I think that's correct. Right, anyway, sorry, let's get sidetracked at the end of the show. Next up, we've got Steaming Cup of Reason next. I want to get you to give us some final thoughts and see if you've got anything you want to shell out before we say goodbye.
Nothing really to chill out. The usual stuff. My Friday night special is coming up. I do want to mention, however, at the end of the month, there's going to be a really extra special Friday night special. So you guys are going to want to watch that. Other than that, it's been a great show. I can't stop laughing. I just had a great time today. And Conspiracy Cats, it's been a pleasure talking with you, and I'm sure you'll agree, as a fellow educator, education is the only key to a successful future. Never stop learning.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well said. Now I'm going to turn to Kiri Mack for some final thoughts. What about you?
Hey, well, we had so many questions and comments tonight that I didn't quite manage to read them all out. But what I think I'm going to do is pop a couple of them in our Discord server. So if one of the mods could link the chat to that, that would be great. I just want to say a massive thanks to Conspiracy Cats for coming on. I've one thing left to say to you, and that is no, the ass with Pepe is a cash with. That's from one of his last videos. If you haven't seen it, you must check it out. The song is hilarious. Songs, I should say. We've got Blue Earth thing coming on Thursday, same time. If you guys are about, it would be great to see you. Link in the chat as we speak, and that's pretty much all from me. Thank you.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much indeed, Kiri Mack. Now, I think I've got through everyone on the list, but I'm going to leave 3 seconds of dead air in case I forgot someone. Didn't I go for him nearly at the top? Wait, right at the top with Annie Flatter.
Okay, then.
I've had my chance to say my piece.
I'm pretty good at this. I'm just double checking. Right, so look, if that's it, then I'll just add my final thoughts. Personally, I think the standards of evidence are a thing, right? Or at least they should be. I don't know how you can reasonably conclude anything these people have pointed out unless you're massively biased or you're just a huge liar. As for me and my shilling stuff out, let's see. Well, I've been struggling to get interviews sorted out because I'm doing a lot of other work, so I keep putting off End the Conspiracy, who very gamely keeps going, yeah, I'll come back next week. So that is coming. I've also got some Mr. Jim Bells coming, so I hope you enjoy that. That's about it from me. Now, I think it's been a wonderful show. I also want to pass my personal thanks on to Conspiracy Cats for coming. It's just been amazing. I think we've all had a blast. I hope you guys have listening as well. Kerry's pointed out we'll be back in the middle of next week with Blue Earth Thing. So he was a tremendous guest. I think you'll agree. In the meantime, I hope you remember that when we say you should go and check out the creators' channels, it's not just a line that we say every week. It's a genuine implication to get out there and see what the community has to offer. There are dozens of new show every day you've got to see from us here too as well. So all the links are in the description. Go take a look. And remember to like this video on the way out if you actually like the show, right? You know, if you haven't subbed already, where the hell have you been, you know? And always leave us a little comment. So thanks to the panel. Thanks to Conspiracy Cats. Thanks to everyone watching. Yeah, thank you. And thank you to listening in the real world as there. We hope you're here next time. With that, I think I will wish you all a very good morning, a good afternoon, or a good night, wherever you are. I've been Jim Bojo. This has been the Silly Shill Show. We have been the Shills. Good night from me, and it's good night from everyone else.
Catch you on the flip side.
Good night.
Doodly doodlies.
Cheerio.
Now it's time. Because Dick Dawson is going to lead us out.
Well, I got to say, people, you got to remember one thing. It doesn't matter whether they say it, write it, or sing it. It's bullshit. Stay smart. Keep up the fight.
Yay.
Boom.
Fucking right.
Absolutely.
Cheers for coming, everyone. And don't forget, the after show is going to be at World Model Feud just after this, so come and check that out.
Perfect.
See you there.